Jack needs construction finance for a housing project. Jill needs an investment vehicle for her savings. And we are FutureBricks, a peer-to-peer lending platform for Britain's small and medium house builders who have limited access to mainstream finance. At the same time, we're making the exclusive industry of property investments accessible to all. You can start investing from as little as £1,000 and earn up to 12% gross interest per annum. Let's break the brick ceiling. www.futurebricks.com.
साखरेची गाठी आणि कडुलिंबाचा तुरा,
चंदनाच्या गाठीवर शोभे सोन्याचा करा,
स्नेहाने साजरा करा पाडव्याचा सण,
मंगलमय गुढी ल्याली भरजरी खण.
गुढीपाडव्याच्या सर्वांना शुभेच्छा. महाराष्ट्र मंडळातर्फे समस्त मराठी परिवारांना, मित्र परिवारांना नवीन वर्षाच्या शुभेच्छा.
गुढीपाडव्याच्या महाराष्ट्र मंडळाच्या सर्व सभासदांना खूप खूप शुभेच्छा. नमस्कार. माझं नाव हेमंत अनंत देशमुख.
मी वर्षा हेमंत देशमुख.
नमस्कार.
Namaskar Mandari and Happy New Year for Gudi Padwa. We hope everyone is well. As most of us are working during the week, we felt the program for Gudi Padwa should be held over the weekend. The lineup is a Gudi Pujan performed by Varsha Kaku and Hemant Deshmukh Kaka. We thank them both for agreeing to record their pujan for presenting to our audience today. This is followed by Nilima Tai Bhave, who is an eminent Marathi writer that has won numerous awards for her fiction and non-fiction stories. We're grateful Nilima Tai has agreed to be our special guest today. She'll give a very interesting cultural and mythological relevance of Gudi Padwa and also a recipe for a traditional Gudi Padwa chutney. Last but not least is a natak called Goshta Eka Lagnachi. The title is similar to another drama, but actually it's a different storyline, promoting the production company's popular adaptation of a wedding arrangement. This is a free program, so we hope the viewers will make a donation to support some of the costs incurred by the production team. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the program. Namaskar.
Jack needs construction finance for a housing project. Jill needs an investment vehicle for her savings. And we are Future Bricks, a peer-to-peer lending platform for Britain's small and medium house builders who have limited access to mainstream finance. At the same time, we're making the exclusive industry of property investments accessible to all. You can start investing from as little as £1,000 and earn up to 12% gross interest per annum. Let's break the brick ceiling. www.futurebricks.com.
Hello friends, Namaskar. Greetings to you from Mumbai to our friends in London on the auspicious occasion of Maharashtra's New Year, Gudi Padwa. It is a very, very memorable day for me because never in my life had I imagined that I would spend any time, let alone on a New Year's Day, with new friends from London. And this has been made possible by Maharashtra Mandal. So I am thankful to Shyamala Tai, the president of the Mandal, and members of the executive committee, and most of all to Shri Nitin Kulkarni, who has made all this possible. So my best wishes for a happy Gudi Padwa and a happy and healthy New Year, especially healthy New Year. Gudi Padwa has two words, Gudi and Padwa. Padwa is a corrupted form of Sanskrit word Pratipada. Pratipada is the first day of a lunar fortnight. It may be the bright fortnight or a dark fortnight, Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha. But usually festivals are on the Shukla Paksha Pratipada. So this is Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada or Chaitra Shukla Pratipada. Now what is Gudi? First of all, see, the thing is this program was supposed to be in the form of a question answer session, and it would have been really nice if it had been done like that as an interactive session, because so many things come up due to questioning. When somebody starts asking you questions, you start thinking, then you start remembering, and then you give the answer. But anyway, due to some technical reasons, this could not be done. So here I am trying to tell you something without boring you. So, and another point that was made to me was that most of you here are third generation in England, that is born in England, brought up in England, educated in English language, and not very familiar with Marathi. So I was told that my medium of the discourse, if it is English, it may be comfortable for the audience, though they do understand Marathi. But I thought that why not make it a mixture of both, because after all this is Maharashtra Mandal program, Maharashtra's New Year, and फिर Marathi तो बनती है. Now you know what kind of Marathi is spoken in Maharashtra itself. It is a mixed language, something Hindi, something English. So you need not be very apprehensive whether when I talk in Marathi you may not be able to make anything out of it. We'll see to it that whatever I tell you will go through. So now, what is this Gudi? This Gudi actually means a wooden stick. Now, from where this word comes? This word comes from Telugu language. Now, what has Telugu language got to do with Maharashtrian Gudi Padwa? So there the story starts. You see, this Gudi Padwa is the first day of the Shalivahan era or Shalivahan Shak, which was started by a Shalivahan king, Gautami Putra Shatakarni, as a mark of his victory in a big battle. This Gautami Putra Shatakarni used to reign over a large geographical area, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. So this Shalivahan Shak was started in all these three regions, but Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh don't put up Gudi to celebrate it, and they don't call it Gudi Padwa also. They call it Ugadi or Yugadi, means starts of an era. It is only in Maharashtra that it is called Gudi Padwa. Now what is this Gudi? I am going to show you a picture of this. I will describe it to you, but I think if you see it for yourself, it will be better. This is not a professional picture, it is just a household Gudi. But when I tell you something and if you see it, then you will be able to coordinate. So Gudi is a stick which is covered with a silken cloth, and a small water pot is put on it upside down to keep that cloth in place, and then it is decorated with flower garden and especially neem leaves. Now this neem leaves is something I am going to talk to you later more in detail, but this Gudi that you see here, I am going to show you. See if you can see it. See, this is the stick. Now this is actually what is used is walking stick, which is slightly decorated, and that purple or blue cloth is an old sari, and there is a pot here, upturned copper pot, and the garlands are there. See, the marigold flowers and mango leaves, and of course I will show you the neem leaves. The neem leaves are also there in the Gudi. In the garland, the neem leaves are there. Here at the corner there are the neem leaves. So this is the Gudi. This is put up after sunrise and taken down before sunset with a little bit of ceremony. Gudi Padwa is the beginning of a string of such seasonal festivals all over India. Most of our Indian festivals are related to seasons, either change of seasons or maybe harvest season, rainy season, or even a season of dark nights like Deepavali. So, but all these festivals are not only seasonal, but they are also connected with some story. It may be a historical story or a mythological story or a religious story, but some story is there, and Gudi Padwa also has got such stories behind it, to which we come by and by. So this is Gudi Padwa for you, the first day of Shalivahan era. Now you may want to know the year difference between Christian era and Shalivahan era. The difference is 78 years. So now, just now we have 2021 as the Christian era, and the Shalivahan era that is started on Gudi Padwa is 1943. So that is the difference. Now about, there is a little interesting bit of information here. Now this Gregorian calendar, as we call it, the Christian era calendar, was not prevalent in India before. India had different regions had their own different calendars, and when the British people came here to rule, they found the administrative jobs to be a little bit complicated, trying to count the dates and months and things like that. So they decided to have a uniform calendar for the whole of India, and that was the Gregorian calendar which they were using in England. So they brought it here to India. That was the year 1821, and this is the year 2021, means 200 years back this calendar of Christian era was started being used in India. But even today different regions in India use their old Indian almanac or calendar for their own calculations, maybe religious or whatever. So now we come to the neem leaves part of it. So neem leaves are a very important part of Gudi Padwa festival. If you have seen a neem tree there in England, maybe you don't have it because it's a tropical tree unless you go to the Kew Garden and all that. But it gives new leaves and new blossom in this season. So on Gudi Padwa day, it is supposed to be very healthy to chew neem leaves on an empty stomach and gulp them down to keep healthy throughout the year. Then a body wash is prepared by boiling neem leaves in water, and to bathe in water in which neem leaves have been boiled is supposed to keep all the heat related skin ailments away. And in the festival meal, a chutney of neem leaves is made, in which tender neem leaves are taken, neem flowers are taken, then black pepper, black salt, cumin seeds, jaggery, and a raw mango, which is also the new product of the season, raw mango. And all these are ground together and eaten as a chutney. Now you will notice that all these things, each ingredient separately, has one rasa or kind of taste. Tikhat, ambat, kharat, turat, god, kadu. So these 6 tastes or shadrasas are all included in that chutney. The idea being, this chutney represents all the different flavors of life which you should enjoy throughout the year. That is the idea. And the preferred sweet for the festival meal is Shrikhand. Shrikhand is a curd-based sweet which is easy to digest and cooling to the system and very suitable for the coming hot season. So in Holi we prepare Purnachi Poli, which is very heavy, has to be enjoyed only in the winter season. And now Purnachi Poli goes to the background and Shrikhand comes to the foreground. So these are the little details of celebrating Gudi Padwa. Provide drinking water to the thirsty people throughout all the 4 months of summer. So this custom is no longer exists now because of course the tap water and things like that, but mainly due to passage of time and change of circumstances. There also used to be a custom to invite the family priest to the house to get the almanac or panchang read by him to know how the coming year was going, whether there was going to be any natural calamity or a flood or a drought or war or some pandemic like COVID-19. Now we don't know whether COVID-19 was ever predicted by any astrologer or in any almanac, but that custom used to be there. Now that custom is also no longer there. But some new customs have been added in Maharashtra especially. We'll talk about them by and by. But about the origin of Gudi Padwa as such, we have some other stories. I said all festivals have some historical roots, some mythological stories, some religious stories. So Gudi Padwa is related to a story which says that Lord Brahma created the universe on this particular day, and this Gudi is his flagstaff or Brahmadhvaj. So it is to be worshipped as Lord Brahma's Brahmadhvaj. Another story goes which is related to Rama's homecoming. After killing Ravan and winning the war in Lanka, Ram was going back to Ayodhya, and the day he reached Ayodhya was Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada. all the citizens of Ayodhya were very happy that he was back after so many years, safe and sound, along with Sita. So they wanted to celebrate the day, and so they put up the goodies in order to celebrate. Now the interesting thing is that these days goodies are put up in Maharashtra, but not in the Ayodhya side in Uttar Pradesh. That is rather interesting. A mention of something like bamboo staff worship is found in Mahabharata also, and Bas Puja is prevalent in some other parts of India, but not on the Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada day. Sindhi people have their Chaiti Chand again on Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada, but they also don't raise any goody or anything like that. Now, while doing some research on this particular practice, I came across some interesting information which I want to share with you. I read that the stick worship has been present in various parts of the world, in different continents like Europe, in some parts of Europe, in Africa, in Far East, and it is practiced by the Aboriginal tribes. This is a very interesting piece of information, and I was thinking, and I want you also to think about what could be the reason for this stick worship when it is practiced in so many parts of the world, in other parts of India also, by Aboriginal tribes and by educated people and everybody. So what I thought was, I am sharing it with you. I think had it been a conversation, it would have been really nice. But you can also think about it, and if possible, let me know. I think that a thick, long stick of bamboo is the first natural weapon of man. The first natural weapon that man used to protect himself from animals, from creepy creatures, or from other men must have been a stick. He didn't have to make it, he just had to either pull it or cut it and use it. He could use it for self-protection, he could use it for attacking, and a stick worship could be a kind of, thanksgiving to this particular piece from nature which protected man in difficult situations. This is what I feel. Then bamboo is also a symbol of perpetuation of life because it keeps on giving shoots of its own and forms a bamboo grove. So that is also another reason maybe for which a bamboo stick was worshipped, because it is a symbol of continuity of life. महाराष्ट्रामध्ये गुढीपाडवा साजरा करण्याचा लिखित उल्लेख आपल्याला महानुभाव वाङ्मयामध्ये आढळतो, म्हणजे साधारण 13व्या शतकाच्या मध्यावर. आता मी आधी सुरुवातीला गुढीपाडवा साजरा करण्याच्या इतके तपशील सांगितले. आता इतक्या तपशिलांनी तो आज महाराष्ट्रात किंवा मोठाल्या शहरात तरी निदान साजरा होतो किंवा काय, हा प्रश्नच आहे. मला वाटतं मोठाल्या जर ह्या हाऊसिंग सोसायट्या ज्या हल्ली असतात त्या बघितल्या तर निदान मुंबईत तरी समजा 100 लोकांची सोसायटी असेल तर एक 5-6 गुढ्या तुम्हाला उभारलेल्या दिसतील. कडुलिंब वगैरे तर किती जण मुद्दाम मिळवून खातात त्याची पण मला कल्पना नाही. तर हळूहळू जसे काही त्याच्यातले साजरा करण्यातले तपशील गळत गेलेत, पण काही तपशील नवीन देखील आलेले आहेत. आता महाराष्ट्रामध्ये गेल्या 5-6 वर्षात गुढीपाडवा साजरा करण्यासाठी एक शोभायात्रा काढली जाते. तरुण मुलं आणि तरुण मुली ही त्याला हिंदू नववर्षाची शोभायात्रा अशा पद्धतीने ते साजरी करतात. So this is a new dimension or a new angle to the celebration of an old festival. Now this Shobha Yatra has saffron as its prominent color. These young people wear traditional dresses and saffron headgear or pheta, and they carry saffron flags on sticks, and they go in a procession, walk on the streets which are decorated with huge rangolis, and they walk on the beat of traditional drums like dhol tashe. Some of them play lejim. Lejim is small chain of small iron cymbals played mostly by farmers. And they call it Navavarsha Shobha Yatra, ignoring the fact that all Hindus do not have their new year starting on Gudi Padwa. In different parts of India, people have different new years. Another point is Government of India has now its own calendar, Bharatiya Saura Kalaganana. According to that, also Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada is the first day of the New Year. So it is Indian New Year, not Hindu New Year. So keeping that controversy apart, I wish a happy Gudi Padwa to all of you. Enjoy your Shrikhand Puri, preferably preceded by Varan Bhat, Tup Limbu, Davikade, Uzvikade, and ignoring all ideologies. I sincerely thank Maharashtra Mandal for giving me this opportunity of being with you people on such an auspicious day. Another thing I want to mention here is tomorrow is 14th April, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's birth anniversary. He was a really great man, an architect of Indian Constitution, and incidentally he was also founder of this Maharashtra Mandal.
Jack needs construction finance for a housing project. Jill needs an investment vehicle for her savings. And we are Future Bricks, a peer-to-peer lending platform for Britain's small and medium house builders who have limited access to mainstream finance. At the same time, we're making the exclusive industry of property investments accessible to all. You can start investing from as little as £1,000 and earn up to 12% gross interest per annum. Let's break the brick ceiling. www.futurebricks.com